Hi, welcome back to It's Whatever, right? I'm your host, Jen. And can you believe that it's actually already the last weekend of 2020? That's exciting, right? I mean, compared to the year that we as a planet had, I think it's safe to say that majority of us are super fucking excited to just be done with 2020. Um, and it's kind of funny because it was not funny, but it is funny. So I was on TikTok yesterday and I seen this TikTok and it's like 2021. Get it? Because like next year is 2021. But if you like break it down, it's like 2020 one, like WON instead of ONE. So technically 2021. No, not funny. So since this is technically the last podcast of 2020, it is kind of exciting. Because I started my podcast this year. So it's kind of exciting to end the year with a podcast. I know there's still like a week left. The new year starts on a Friday. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, how was everybody's Christmas? Or Hanukkah? Or any other celebrations that you do at this time? I hope everybody enjoyed whichever celebration you do, if that's Hanukkah or Christmas. Um, excuse me. I'm not too sure what other, at the top of my head, other holidays would be this year, but I hope that you enjoyed them all. Um, so for my last podcast of the year, I thought that maybe we could go through our bucket list for 2021 for next year. Um, and kind of like end this year with kind of like what is the fucking word? Kind of like a review. Would that be the correct word? Of how your 2020 went. Um, I know for most people, 2020 is a bad word, a bad year, but don't beat me up in the parking lot when I say this. To be honest, I think personally, in many different levels, there's obviously shitty parts of this year that had happened, but personally, I would rate this year a 7.5 out of 10. Um, Mostly because this year I had plans on actually traveling. I had broken up. Well, tomorrow's Monday, so um, I go back to work tomorrow, unfortunately. Back to my day job. But this year I had like deliberately broken up my vacation. Normally I take like a week or two off at Christmas. Um, and then maybe like a week off in the summer. But this year I had one off at this past week, 1 week off in April, and one off in July because I was like, yeah, this year is the year where I'm actually going to travel. I've had my passport for the last 5 years, and I was like, sweet. I'm actually finally like physically and financially able to actually travel somewhere. I had a plan of living in my car for a week and going to PEI. And then going down to the States to go see New York City. And then I think I had something else planned for December. I just don't remember what. And then 2020 be like, uh, no. No, 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 no. You ain't going anywhere, bitch. You shall stay home. And I'm like, well, fuck. Okay. Because nobody got time to fucking quarantine. Nobody, no. So, next year, I just got, a letter in the other day that all of my vacation time was approved for next year. I have, a couple days off in April, a couple days off in July, a couple days off in October, and again in December. So, hopefully next year. That's kind of like my bucket list. Because I'm always so fucking busy working. I always work, 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 work. Um, and so next year, I'm hoping that at least for one of my fucking holidays, I'm actually able to fucking leave the country without having to fucking quarantine. I should have traveled when I had the fucking chance, and now I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass because I'm 27 and everybody else gets to travel, and I'm here I'm a workaholic. I don't make time to fucking travel, and now that I made time to fucking travel, the world's gone to shit. But whatever, right? It doesn't really fucking matter anymore. But for the most part, I honestly give this year, because I have accomplished so fucking much. Um, in a way, because I guess, yeah, I've accomplished, so fucking much this year. In, so many different levels. I think half of it is due to the fact that now we are again in lockdown, and you can't really do much this year. You physically can't do much. And it's we're always oh, well, if I had some extra time at home, because, we're always on the go to work, go to school, come home, cook, blah, 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 blah. You never actually get to do the things that you would like to do. So this year had forced me to actually sit down and, one, start a podcast, two, actually work on your art and writing and stuff. Because, well, there's nothing else to do. And so, besides do some at-home workouts and work on art and your podcast and stuff like that. So, in a way, 2020 is just yeah, no, bro, y'all need to chill the fuck out, sit the fuck down, and do shit. I also decluttered my house a lot this year. I mean, that was already the plan. But considering that we're all in lockdown and there's nothing better to do than just, well, might as well clean up the house of shit we're obviously not going to use. And even though, yeah, we did have the time this year to use XYZ, we never actually fucking did. So it needs to go, bro. It all needs to go. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to carry on into next year. Not COVID, because fuck COVID. I'm completely over COVID. But to kind of take the shit that I've learned this year, which is basically what I have learned this year is to not take shit for, we always take stuff for advantage. Took traveling for advantage, in my case. Wanted to travel. I always had the time to travel, but never made time to travel, if that makes sense. And now that I can't travel, now I'm oh, well, the fuck. For that's one. And to basically, yeah, we always take everything as an advantage, to almost abuse everything. We always say that we never have fucking time. Well, there is time. There's 7.8 billion people on this planet. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. If I learned anything from this year is time management. I've always been good at time management, but this year it's kind of time management has hit differently because it's like, okay, well, now you're not going out to the movies, you're not going out for dinner, and you're not spending all this time on doing shit. You are now forced to spend time on things that you would have rather done anyways. So, with that said, it's kind of like one of those, oh yeah, I wish I had time, for an example, to do a podcast. Well, now I have time for a podcast, and it's actually pretty fun, actually, doing this podcast channel. I know that my posting is kind of irregular, can never get a fucking podcast up on time, but it's actually pretty fucking fun to do. It's kind of fun to kind of ramble on about shit that does not make fucking sense, but y'all keep tuning in every fucking podcast I post, so I mean, y'all gotta enjoy my podcast to a degree with my high, whiny, squeaky voice, but meh. With also managed to read a shit ton of fucking books this year, to which I'm going to kind of kick myself in the ass next year because I've read, I think, 116 or 17 books, and there's still like a couple days left of this year. And I'm planning on reading double the amount of books, which is basically 130, 140 books. No, 240 bucks ish for next year. Challenge accepted, bitches. I keep trying to look up to see like how many books people have read in a year, and so far I've only found one person, this lady who's read 400 and something books, 430 or something. I mean, how you manage to read over 400 books, my goodness gracious. That's a lot of fucking books. I mean, I did a mix of reading physical copies, reading audiobooks. Like, I did a lot of fucking reading. And I still have a stack of fucking library books to read. And I think I got a notification to go pick up fucking more. My God. So, that's kind of like some things that I'm trying to take into next year it's kind of like, I guess, not a bucket list for 2021, is to basically, like, it's kind of hard to make a bucket list, to be honest. But my goals, I guess, for next year is pretty much take everything I learned this year with time management, not taking shit, not take advantage of shit, be grateful for everything that you have received in a year, and just basically bring it into next year, because I find like if you, I don't know, I have no idea where I had the point in my head, now it's fucking gone. My God, I should write this shit out. But yeah, basically just don't take advantage of anything, because there's really no point. And the only person who suffers in the end is you, to be honest. So basically, take my time management and everything else I've learned this year and bring it into next year and see if I can improve on everything. Because, well, if you want to do something, just just fucking do it. Just do it. I mean, worst case scenario is that you don't do it, and then when you're fucking 90 and you would be wishing that you fucking did it. Don't be 90 and wish that you'd done something now in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. When you're physically, mentally, and financially able to do something, just fucking do it. You can do it. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a fucking day. Like, if you want something so fucking badly, but you always have excuses, like, then obviously it's not meant to be. But if you really desperately, let's say, I don't know, want to open up a small business, what is actually physically stopping you? Nothing is, because if you really want something, you would just go get it. Like, opening a small business is extremely fucking hard, yes. It is. I'm not saying it's gonna be fucking easy, but if you really want to be, I don't know, for an example, I would like to be a full-time artist. I would love to do this podcast full-time. But in order to fucking do that, I actually physically have to fork up the money to do so, fork up the extra time to do so. You know what I mean? So if you really, really, really desperately want something, then we'll get off your fucking ass, make the fucking time, and fucking do it. I don't know. That's basically what I have learned this year, and going to take it into next year. Like, I don't even know. Normally, I do have, like, a giant list of shit that I want to do, goals, for next year, but it's kind of, like, hard. But it's basically, for me, some goals. I know that I have control over traveling. Obviously, don't have fucking control over that. But what I do have is working on a cleaner and a healthier diet. I don't know if you know, but I'm vegan. So, trying to eat cleaner and healthier. That's kind of like on everybody's fucking list, is it not? I'm also on a journey of living more sustainable, so trying to work on living more sustainable. Be more productive. I feel like I always have this, like, couple of weeks where I'm, like, on it. I'm on the fucking ball. I'm, like, getting shit done. And then I get overwhelmed. And then I'm like, ugh. And then I have, like, maybe 2 weeks of where I don't do fucking shit, fuck all. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks. I also have work on being me. That's kind of like an overachievement, I guess. Um, my current apartment, I'm in the middle of redecorating and painting and etc. etc. Been living here for about 5 years now, and ugh. I guess it's like the middle of, like, since I am decluttering my apartment, it's kind of weird to see my apartment kind of naked, and I'm like, something belongs here, but I don't know what it is. This was here before, now it's not, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm in the middle of kind of changing out my apartment, trying to find me. It's been like living here for 5 years. It's kind of like I have shit, and shit is fucking everywhere. It's not really designed. My design is just, here's some dishes, here's some clothes, and some furniture kind of thing. Does that make sense? I never really, like, decorated it to be me the way that I like it. But I also rent, you know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those, oh God, I don't know what to do. So that's kind of what I'm going to work on this year, is working on being me. I already said this one, but reading lots of stories. Um, this one's going to be attempt, but like I can always stay in the province. I live in Ontario, which is a province in Canada. Um, go on lots of adventures. Um, I mean, I guess I could always look up adventures to go see and do, but it's very hard to do so when you can't really leave. Well, you can leave, but it's kind of hard to travel because, like, you need 2 weeks to. For it to go on a 1 week trip, you need to quarantine for 2 weeks when you get there, and then quarantine when you get back. That seems like a hassle, so if I can find lots of adventures in the province, that'd probably be pretty fucking dope to do. Um, this is kind of the same thing as working on being me, work on being the best version of myself. Um, I'm 27 and I still have no idea of where I actually belong in this world, and sometimes it's so confusing and so frustrating. I just wish that I had some sort of idea of what I was doing. That would solve a lot of problems, wouldn't it? I also want to take a couple of classes this year. Maybe like a couple online classes. Um, a couple of art classes, editing, writing, video and audio. Um, mostly stuff to help me out a little bit because, like I said, I would love to be a full-time artist. Um, I also love editing, like videos and projects and stuff, and writing. So it'd be kind of nice to be able to have, like, yeah, I'm an editor and edit people's stuff for them. That would be fucking fun. Dope as fuck, though. Um, but like I don't even know what too much to do for like goals for next year because like we have no idea what next year is going to have in stock for us. Since like this year was so productive on so many fucking levels, I'm basically just learning to take days one day at a fucking time because, well, and have I mean, I guess not being able to do shit saves a shit ton of fucking money, right? You know, that retirement sounds lovely, doesn't it? But, um, though that's my review of this year and hoping for the best for next year, and a couple of goals that I have kind of set in place for myself, and hopefully it actually sticks and helps me out next year. Um, Happy New Year. I know it's still a couple of days away, but Happy New Year. And I wish for the best for everybody. Until I talk to you next time. Oh, don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Very much appreciated if you subscribe. If you are listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below if you want to talk about today's podcast or if you have any cool ideas that you would love to hear on the next podcast. Also, don't forget to share so everybody can share the same experience as you, or don't. It's whatever, right? Until next time, bye!